I'm going to hit the record button and let's get started. So first of all, thank you all for joining me here today for this special webinar around mastering sacred sales. I know sales is a very, very touchy subject for a lot of women, and yet it's a very, very important part of growing your business. Can someone just confirm that you can hear me all right? Is the audio clear? Can you hear me all right? Can you see me all right? Okay, thank you. Lichala says, I'm from the US. I help change makers create charitable nonprofits. Hey. Okay, so let's get started. Today's webinar, if you've attended any of my webinars, you know that they're not like the common webinars. Instead, the focus is on learning and doing something. I want you to walk away with something concrete to implement or do. Okay, so in today's webinar, this is the flow we are going to follow. I'll start with some quick introductions, just in case you don't know me. Then I'm going to share something about how men sell versus how women sell. And the reason I'm sharing this is because you need to understand the different selling styles so that you know what doesn't work for you and why it doesn't work for you, right? So we'll talk a bit about why most women tend to either shy away from sales, or if they try, they suck at it. It's not your fault. We'll jump into why this is probably happening, so that once you understand the reason, once you understand the root cause, then you can do something to change things. Okay. I'll show you a simple ditch and switch method to help reframe or rephrase that. How you approach sales. And the best kind of sales are the ones where you don't have to sell at all. Now, even after all of this, even after, when I work with my one-on-one clients, I often see that even after I've explained all of this or walked them through, this new way of thinking about sales, when it comes to actually doing things, there are a couple of places where women still get stuck. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about the common mistakes and how to avoid them. After that, we'll do a small meditation or visualization, whatever you want to call it, to help anchor in all that we've learned in this session. I'm going to end with a little bit of a description about this new program I'm starting. It's called the More Business Bootcamp, to help you grow your business even more. Okay? Any questions about this, or shall I move on? I'd like to keep this session interactive. So if you have questions while I'm presenting anything, or if you agree, or if you strongly disagree, I want you to keep talking to me as if, we're having a conversation. This is Zoom, so I can unmute you at any time, but I would prefer that you use the chat room to keep sharing what you're learning, any ahas, any questions, any feedback. Okay, so use the chat room extensively. And if we have questions that require more than you can express in a chat, I will unmute you, and then we can, have this conversation with you on Zoom. Okay? Okay, let's get to it. Just in case you don't know me, my name is RichaJain. I'm an online business strategist. Okay, I'm a fiercely compassionate business strategist. When I say fiercely compassionate, my clients often tell me that I have this special form of tough love. I hold them accountable. I push them beyond their comfort zone, and I do it in the most loving way possible. In the past, I've also been a web designer, a freelance tech writer, a techie in semiconductor software. I was in corporate for 15 years and 20 years if you count the college stint. I have a master's degree in technology as well as 2 tech patents. I'm also a bit of a spiritual maverick. I'm a feisty woman, feisty, however you say it, and I'm a single mom. My way of doing business is about business with heart. I believe in businesses that are driven by passion, that have a larger purpose than beyond just making money, and yet at the same time incorporate passion and purpose with making a profit. In all of the work that I do, in all of the work I teach my clients to do, I believe in keeping things simple. If there is a way to do it directly, you can hold your nose directly like this. That this is what I'll teach you. Unlike some other coaches and programs that will, teach you to hold your nose like this and to go around like this. If there is a simple and easy way to do things in business, I will find it and I will share it with you. As a single mom, time is premium for me. I cannot afford to keep wasting my time on strategies and methods that don't work. So I always, always, always find the most effective and most efficient way to do things, which is often the simplest way too. Okay. I don't believe in push, 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 hustle, 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 sell, sell, sell. I believe in connection-based marketing, on connecting with people and helping them and serving them and helping them get to where they want to be. That is what I believe in. That is the kind of people I work with. Okay. Can you all confirm that you're seeing my slides correctly? Since we are also trying to share over Facebook Live, it's the first time I'm trying something like this. So, can you confirm that you're seeing my slides properly? Okay, thank you, Victoria. So, I work with women who are similar to me in that they're running a passion-based business and it's driven by a larger purpose than beyond making money. They have an insatiable urge to make the world a better place through their work. And of course, they also want to make good money doing the work they love. It's money, service, go hand in hand. Okay. Now, so let's get on to this part about how men sell and how women sell. Have you guys noticed any difference? Do you have any, have you ever thought about it? How men sell versus how women sell? Have you ever paid attention? Any comments, feedback on that? I'd love for you to share whatever you've noticed. Okay, so let me share what I have seen. Okay, Victoria says she's very sensitive to it. Victoria, would you mind sharing what difference do you see in the way men sell versus how women sell? Okay, women suggest. What else? And what do men do? Men present answers. Anyone else? So let me share an example of an ice cream cone. Okay, when men are selling, they would usually go, most men would go, hey, you want an ice cream? Here it is, here you go. And if they have been to some kind of sales training or sales program, or they are professional salesmen, they will also pitch you, 20,000 reasons why you should buy and the benefit, and they would, they just go push, push, push. You have to buy this, right? And they're like, this is so awesome. This product is so awesome. It will completely change the way you think about XYZ. You have to buy it. It will transform your life in this incredible way. You see how the energy is different? The way they approach it is different. The way they, yes, Lachala said, men share with more confidence. Men don't share, they just sell with confidence. Whereas when women start to sell, even if it's an ice cream cone, even if it's a new bakery she's opened and she has to sell a cupcake, she'll go like, you know what, I just opened shop, so I'm experimenting. Maybe, you might like this, or maybe you would like this one. Or how about the one with the yellow frosting or the pink frosting? No, the pink frosting isn't that good, but you should definitely try my red velvet one. You know what, I've been so exhausted trying to start this bakery. I'm not in the best shape, but I normally look better. My hair is better. I'm just having a bad hair day. Maybe it's this. Or you know what, you buy one cupcake and since this is opening day, I'm going to add in another cupcake just for you. Do you get the difference? Did my attempt at acting or playing that role get it across? As women, we tend to doubt ourselves. We tend to, instead of just getting to the sale or getting to the ask, we doubt our own ability, we doubt the product, we doubt their intention to buy. We are just filled with so much doubt, and we work from that place of fear, of doubt. Now, I want you to know this is not your fault. I'm going to talk about this more a bit later. But I want you to be aware that more often, and that of course you are not alone in this. And I do understand that I am going on I'm presenting extreme situations to get the point across. I know that it isn't always this way, but more often than not, that element of doubt tends to impact women more than men. It tends to hold women back. There is enough research to show that much of this research, I had done a lot of research when it came to career and salary negotiations. So whether it's from Harvard or, I'm forgetting the names of those places, but there's a lot of research to show that when it comes to, for example, salary negotiations, women hold back, women don't ask. And then even when they ask, they're never given. Okay. And that carries over. I have seen that carry over to business as well. Women tend to be afraid of the ask. Okay. Now, I presented this extreme contrast so that you get an idea, so that you can, maybe some of you caught a glimpse of yourself in it, maybe some of you were nodding along vigorously. But the fact is that men's style and women's style of selling is different. And understanding that difference will help you find your mean path, find your way forward, how you want to do things. Okay. So getting to the root of it, why does that happen? Why is there such a stark contrast? Now, again, some of the things that I'm going to say may be triggering. Some of you may find yourself nodding along, and some of you may say that, you know what, that's not me. But in my experience and the research I've done, I think there's a very strong element of truth in here, whether or not you see it on the surface. Okay. So the first thing is mass media, or the way we are mostly taught about sales. Any kind of sales program you sign up for, or even many coaching schools or business programs that you sign up for, the way they teach you about sales and marketing just feels so yuck that you have to it gives you that feeling of a used car salesman. And being a heart-centered woman in business, that's not what you want. And also, being a woman, the tendency is to please people. You want to be liked. You don't want to be disliked. For women, everyone wants to be liked, but for women, the way society conditions us is that we must be liked. We must have flawless skin and flawless eyebrows and lovely flowing hair and all of those things. The pressure put on women to be liked is really intense. So the way sales is taught doesn't sit well with us. We don't like working that way. And yet the pressure on us is quite intense to be liked, to be this perfect picture of someone completely put together, and, the picture of perfection. It's impossible to live up to that kind of standard. Then again, it is about women, or women's role in society is seen as nurturing. Women are the ones who keep families together. Women are the ones who keep society together. Women are the ones who do most of the grunt work of everyday housekeeping, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, parenting, taking care of elderly. the grunt work, society's grunt work, tends to fall on women. And women are rarely, if ever, acknowledged for that, and very, very rarely, if ever, paid for that. It's like society gets used to women doing work for free, to women being of service for free. So when you start a business around service, there is all of this backlash. How dare you charge for this? But this work is supposed to be especially if you're a spiritual entrepreneur or in the business of transformation, helping people through some kind of transformation. You will get things, how can you charge for that? But you're being so selfish. You have the ability to help people. You should just help people. Why are you charging? How dare you charge? It's very often that you get such kind of backlash, and sometimes, or very often, it will also be internal. You'd find yourself questioning yourself, how can I charge for this? It comes so easily to me. It's a service. People need this. I should give it away for free. But the catch is that you can't live on love and fresh air alone. You do have to pay the bills, right? And again, the imposter syndrome. I don't know how many of you have heard about this, but after this, just look it up, just Google it, the imposter syndrome. It's something, again, that affects women more than men. It's where it talks about how we tend to doubt ourselves. Given the same situation, again, I'm forgetting which research this was from, but I think it was one again by Harvard Business School. But given the same situation, an equally qualified man and an equally qualified woman, if you give them the same situation and tell them how likely or how comfortable they are about completing the job, or how strongly do they believe in their ability to complete the job, the man is likely to give himself a 9 or 10 out of 10, and the woman would give herself a 5 or a 6, equally qualified and for the same job. If they were both to complete the same task at the same level, you ask the guy to rate himself and you ask the woman to rate herself, she will rate herself lower for completing the same job in the same way. Again, these are all statistics. I'm forgetting the exact numbers, but there is enough research on this. You can Google the imposter syndrome. Okay. And the third major thing that holds women back from sales are their past experiences. Not necessarily in sales, not necessarily in this business, but we often carry childhood experiences on through life with us, whether or not we recognize it, whether or not we acknowledge it. Childhood sets the foundation for everything else. And during your childhood, or maybe in a past relationship or a past business experience, you asked for something and you didn't receive it, or you were constantly ignored, or you were denied. You tend to carry that experience or some semblance of it, some part of it, over to your business. That's why a lot of women in business also do a lot of personal development and a lot of healing work, because they recognize that these past experiences, the baggage they're carrying, is holding them back. And so you have to let go of that baggage. You have to heal that baggage. Okay. Are you guys with me so far? Did anything I say reflect with you, resonate with you? Have you had similar experiences? Okay. And the reason I'm sharing this, because if acknowledging these things is the first step to moving forward. Until you're aware of what might have been holding you back, you can't let it go and move forward. And I think if I would try and summarize it all, it comes down to, what if she doesn't like me? She being your client or potential client. What if she doesn't like me? What if I ask for the sale? What if I had a wonderful discovery call with her, and if I pitch my package, if I tell her that, I have a package like this that can help. What if she doesn't like me? What if she thinks I'm being salesy? That all of that comes from fear, from the ego of one feeling the need to prove yourself. It comes from feeling the need to prove yourself. If you can let go of your ego, if you can let go of your fear, okay, if you can recognize that these are just thought patterns, instead of wondering, will she still like me? Will she still want to talk to me? Or will she think that I'm being salesy? What if you could just change your thought patterns? What if you could work from a completely different space? Instead of seeing a sales conversation as something where you have to prove yourself and get the other person to value you and get the other person to buy from you, what if you could just, like changing a light bulb, remove that light bulb and put in a different one, which instead completely rewrites your definition of sales. Now, this is a bold statement that you can sell more by not selling at all. If you have to prove yourself, then you miss something of, then you've kind of missed the boat. If you have to persuade someone to buy from you, if you have to push someone to buy for you, if you have to prove your worth over and over again, then there's something that's not in alignment. You've already missed something. So what if you could step back and instead of looking at it as a sales conversation, what if you just saw it as a deep, soulful conversation between friends? What if you could treat your ideal client avatar or talk to her or your potential client, the one you're having this discovery call with, as a friend? Ask her, what is her issue? What is she struggling with? Listen to her. And when you're talking with a very close friend, you're not going to keep interrupting her and jumping in and making suggestions and telling her, I can solve your problem. You will listen to her. So when you're having this sales conversation, listen with your heart. Put your fear aside, put your ego aside, put that need to have a conversion, to have a sale aside, and instead just listen with the intention of helping her to the highest good of everyone involved, for the highest good of all involved. What if you could just hold that space for her to see, to take stock of where she is at and what she's struggling with and where she really wants to be, and that journey from where she is to where she wants to be. If you can hold that space for her to take in all of that in a safe way, if you can support her in seeing that and examining that, okay, with fierce compassion, and then from there, invite her to see, invite her to explore working with you further. Something simple like, would you like that? That's exactly the kind of work I do. That's exactly how I help my clients. Would you like to explore how I can support you further? Now, I've been on so many discovery calls and so many free sessions where the other person simply forgets to make that ask. And when you're not making that ask of inviting them to explore with you how you can work further, you're doing them a disservice. You could be helping them through a really, really important and deep transformation. And yet you forget about the ask because you are afraid of what they will say and how they will respond, because you are holding on to that, I want the sale, I need the sale, so much, that ego, or because you're afraid to charge for your services. Now, when I say sacred service, okay, Victoria says, okay, can everyone confirm that you can hear me all right? In between, I tend to move back and forth in my chair, so that may have caused some audio ruffle. Can you please confirm that you're hearing me fine? Okay. Especially for spiritual entrepreneurs, one of the biggest hangups is around charging for their services. How can you charge for something that is so sacred? How can you charge for something that is so spiritual? Then I have just one response. Energy in the universe is neither created nor destroyed. It has always existed. Energy only changes form. And when you're giving someone a service, there should be an exchange of energy, an equal exchange of energy. Because if you do not have that exchange, there's going to be a deficit. It could either be that you owed them something from a previous, some karma, some karmic points from a previous lifetime, or if you keep giving away, your cup is going to kind of run dry. It's not going to be refilled. Yes, the universe has an infinite supply. Yes, there is infinite abundance, but you have to be open to receiving it. You have to be open to that exchange of energy. So please don't tell me that you feel that you should not charge for a spiritual service. Okay? You can help more people in a more powerful way when you're not worrying about the basics like how to pay your bills. When I started charging higher end fees for my one-on-one services, a lot of people told me that you're being selfish. Now I can't work with you. And I'm like, but when I charge higher end fees for my one-on-one work, that means I'm freeing up the time and energy to help this person in a deeper, more meaningful way. And by making sure that my needs are met, that my financial needs are met with just a handful of one-on-one clients, then that gives me the freedom to create more free content and more free trainings to help the other people who cannot yet afford my one-on-one services. If I were to continue charging $20 an hour or $50 an hour, I would have to be working 100 hours a week just to make ends meet. And when you're doing that, when you're just struggling to make ends meet, the depth of the transformation that you can provide, the intensity of the service that you can provide isn't there. Okay, you're working yourself thin. It serves no one in the long run. So yes, even though it's a sacred service, there has to be an exchange of energy that is equal in value, that's equal to what you are, the value that you are providing. Make sense? Agree, disagree? Do you see what I'm getting at? Okay. So how do you, when you rephrase the whole sales conversation this way, when you approach it from the point of, instead of sales, a sacred conversation where you are helping them to stand in their own power, it changes things. You're no longer approaching your business from the point of view of, I have to create a lot of content, I have to create a lot of freebies, I have to create a lot of opt-ins, I have to get people to sign up on my list. Because those things, while business programs and gurus will tell you that those things are required, yes, they are required, but those are just tactics. It depends, their success or the extent of success you get from those things depends on the energy you're putting into it and the way you are approaching them. Okay. The first thing to do, the first thing at all is to start a conversation. Now, it might seem like a very simple idea, but I can't tell you how many people will put out their freebie, will put out a Facebook post saying, sign up for my opt in without any human connection, without any conversation. I've created this free meditation, sign up here. That's not a conversation, that is a statement. How can you start a meaningful conversation? How can you get someone to either think, to respond, to feel an emotion, to connect with you in some way? That is the starting of your sales conversation. A sale, it's never really just one conversation. When people get on that final discovery call with you or the actual sales call with you, 90% of the times they have already made up their mind about whether or not they like you and whether or not they want to work with you. That call, that discovery call, is just the fag end of it. The journey actually starts right from the first time they get to know you via Facebook post, via something you posted on social media, Instagram, a blog post or something. So if you're just throwing information at them, that's not a conversation. Start with a conversation, start engaging them. It's like if you go to a networking event and you give out a business card, that is not a conversation. Right? That does not build a connection. So start a conversation with them, a real conversation, some kind of meaningful conversation. If you see my blog posts, they either get you to think, or they get you to experience an emotion, or they ask you a question where you have to, and I ask you to reply to me in the comments. That's an interaction. That's an exchange of energy. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Second step is to build a relationship. Again, build a relationship doesn't mean keep bombarding them with emails. Building a relationship means actually taking the time out to care. When a lot of gurus will tell you that business is a numbers game. How many people do you have on your email list? How many people do you like? How many people like your Facebook page? How many people are in your group? How many followers do you have on social media? When you're looking at business as a numbers game, that's a very, very different approach. And again, I don't like that kind of approach. I believe in building a business based on relationships. Okay. So I may have a very small list, but I have been able to connect with so many people over social media. I have been able to help and support so many women over social media with just my free programs and free content. So that if I were to land up in their city and say, hey, who wants to meet me for coffee, or who wants to meet up for coffee, let's meet. Any city in the world that I go to, I will have a few women show up to meet me for coffee. I think that's the power of relationships. Okay? That's the kind of relationship you want to be building with your audience, with your tribe. You want to be building a tribe, not an audience. Okay? When you build that relationship, you will get to know what are their fears, what are their concerns, what do they really want. And it's always about looking beyond the surface. Because once you understand their desires and their dreams beyond the surface level, then you know that puts you in a better position to understand how you can help them. It's the same way as with a friend. The moment a friend starts talking with you, you start getting to know someone, you don't start pitching them, you know what, I sell this product, will you buy this product? No. As spiritual entrepreneurs, as women in service, there is a range of services that you can provide. So, skip the slide. When you build a relationship with your tribe, with your people, and you get to understand what it is they want and what is it that they really need, then you can move on to the next stage, which is asking them, You know what? It sounds to me like this is what you are looking for. And I do this kind of work. I do help people achieve this or be this or transform in this way. Would you like to know more about it? Now, in theory, all of this seems very, very simple, but when it comes to applying it is where people go wrong. For example, uh, I see Lacharla is on this call. Lacharla, would you mind me sharing about your sales page for the nonprofit, for the program you had about the nonprofit? Can I just talk about that for a minute? Thank you. Okay, so Lacharla had created a program to help people start a nonprofit organization. And on her sales page, I'm assuming, yes, she had built up this audience, she had interacted with them, and she was then sending to them to her sales page, which talked about this program. And it was all about, if you've been thinking of starting a nonprofit, I will tell you these 10 alternatives that you could do instead. It was confusing. Okay. And when I reviewed her page, I brought up these questions. But if they're looking for a nonprofit, then why do they want all of this information? And then it went to, no, they're not really looking to start a nonprofit, but it's more like they want to do something good and they want to do it on a bigger scale than they're capable of. So they're looking at alternatives. Now that changes the picture. So it was about, she thought her audience wanted something, okay? She thought they wanted things in a certain way. But when we dug into it, it turns out, no, that's not what they wanted. They're actually looking for something else completely. So that's the stage. That's what I mean to say, when you're building a relationship, you need to understand them, understand what they want more than what they're saying at the surface level. It's only then that you can go to the next stage. Make sense? Agree? Disagree? Was I able to convey that in the right way? Okay, so once you understand them, then it's easier to go for the ask. Then you're not going to get, if you've done the first two things right, you're not going to end up with crickets or blank stares or, this is not the right time for me. When you ask for that permission, would you like to know more? You'll get yes. Yes, please tell me more. I would love to work with you. Please tell me more. And if you're not getting that enthusiastic reaction, if you're still feeling the need to prove yourself, if they're still asking another 20,000 questions, that means that you messed up in one of the earlier two things, that you messed up on this part of it and really understanding them and building that relationship with them. The reason, and again, I can't tell you how many women don't ask. You have to ask at the end of your blog post, at the end of your Facebook post, always, always have a small ask. That ask doesn't have to be about sales. That ask can be something as simple as, do you agree with this? Or what has been your experience? Please share in the comments. A very simple ask. Or what was the one thing around sales that you struggled with the most? I guess some of you would have seen that question in my Facebook post. Because again, it's important to ask for the smaller things first. It's important to ask for, in your blog post, share your experience in the comments below. Or anything, a really simple question. Why is it important to ask? Two things. It gets you in the practice of asking. Again, a very simple concept, but I can't tell you how many women I've seen shy away from the ask. It could be something as simple as, if you'd like to know more, sign up for a free discovery call. Or if you'd like to know more, head over to this free meditation. Or if you know a friend who could benefit from this, share. Anything simple in your blog post, in your Facebook post. It gives you the practice, puts you in the practice of asking, which is, again, I think something as women, we tend to shy away from asking. Okay. Again, there is enough data about this. Look it up, Google it. And also, second reason, for your clients or the people that you're interacting with, it gives them the practice to step up and respond, to answer, okay? To think for themselves and take a little baby step ahead. Because if you jump from asking them to out of the blue, ask them to sign up for $1,000 program, that is a big jump. That is a big ask. Instead, help them through small baby steps, small steps towards that transformation, to stepping up and being visible, to being able to articulate what it is they want, to getting to think about what it is they want. Sorry. And after all of that, after you've gotten their permission that yes, they want to know more about your particular program, then don't leave her hanging. Help her decide. Help her decide. Okay? Explain what you're offering, not just the features, but the benefits. Now, this is a very important distinction, feature versus benefits. A lot of people go around talking about the features of their program or the features of their services. I have a degree in XYZ, and therefore I'm very good at this, and therefore you should sign up for my services. Because the focus is completely on you. The focus, the intention should always be about helping her, your client, your potential client. What does she want? She doesn't care about your degrees. What she cares about is the end result that you can help her achieve. So that's what you should talk about. By the end of this, you will be able to do blah, 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 or achieve blah, 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 or feel like blah, blah, blah. Okay? Help her decide. Ask her, so what else would you like to know? What other information do you need to decide? How may I support you in making this decision? And do all of this. It's really important you do all of this, not from fear, not from ego. If the feeling in the bottom of your stomach is, I don't know what she's going to say. I don't know if she's going to say yes, please say yes, please say yes. Then that's going to come across in your energy, right? So it takes practice. It takes practice to get to the stage where you can put your ego aside, where you can put your fear aside, and let the love for your clients be stronger than your fear of failure, of fear of asking for the sale, and support them in making the right decision. Okay, this was a very top level, overly simplistic description of the process to convey the basic moving pieces, because I have seen clients stumble through each of these. It sounds very simple, but when it comes to doing things, I've seen people mess up. The idea is, in asking for the sale, from a place of strength, by standing in your own power and helping her stand in her own power, you will help her feel that joy of committing to herself, of committing to a transformation, knowing that yes, it is possible, yes, she is supported, feeling that thrill, that joy, that knowing that her dream, what she wanted, is going to come through and she has the right support for it. I can't tell you, when I have clients sign up to work with me one-on-one, it's like, yes, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so excited, Richa. I'm so glad we signed up. It's that kind of feeling. And I can feel their joy. I can feel their energy. I can feel their commitment to it. Okay, Victoria asked, stand in her power. So here's the thing. All of you who are on the call right now, and most of you who signed up for this, are women who are in a service-based business, who are helping people through some change or some transformation, right? When you're helping your client stand in their power, you're helping them, how do I say it? Be the best version of themselves, to commit to a change in themselves, to commit to something better for themselves. That is what this process is about, to help them commit to something better for themselves, to create a new possibility for themselves. Does that help, Victoria? Okay. Okay. So can you help them stand in their power? Can you help them commit to making a change for the better? That is what it is all about. Okay. I think I'm running a bit over time. I hope you guys can stay with me for a while, because now, so I talked about the theory, the 4 basic steps, simplified, overly simplistic. But I also want to share the most common goof ups I've seen happen when you step up to do all of this. Okay. The 4 most common things is that you're not talking to the right people who are not ready. You're not talking to them in the right way, at the right time, or you're just not supporting them in the way they need to be supported. Okay, let me just explain this quickly. I'm going to move a bit faster now because we're already running out of time. But when I say the right people, now in any process, in any need for change, there are different stages to their journey. One is where they're just vaguely aware of a problem or an issue that they want to solve. Phase 2 is when they're actually researching methods and ways in which they can solve that issue or achieve the goal that they want. The third stage is when in the second stage, it's just learning about it. The third stage is trying to make a decision. Will this path work better for me, or will this path, or should it be this path? And it's when they've evaluated a couple of options that they will come to the purchasing stage, where they're ready to make a decision about what to buy. If you're trying to have a sales conversation with people who are still in the awareness stage, who are still just trying to figure out what their issue is, or people who are just researching, then they're not going to buy. And this is the biggest reason why so many discovery calls fail. Because when you offer a free session, most chances are high that the people who sign up are still just researching. They're not ready to commit to a purchase. Okay. In the right way. When you're trying to explain something, for example, to a 5-year-old, you see this woman in this picture sitting with a map of the world and a 5-year-old. Now, if she were to give him a geography lesson about, point out these are all the countries in Asia, do you think he'd listen or he'd be interested? But if she were to turn it into a fun game, okay, can you find the letter A in this? Right? So again, this is a simplistic example to get the idea across, but more often than not, without realizing it, I've seen that business owners end up talking in their language, in their terms, from the other end of this bridge, rather than in the language of their potential clients who have yet to cross that bridge, who have yet to go through that journey of transformation. So you have to talk to them in their language, and you have to give them what they want, bundle in what they need. If any of you remember my PISA rule, this is what I'm talking about, to talk to them in the right way. If you haven't heard of my PISA rule, please go back and watch the webinar on how to create offers that sell like hotcakes. And it's important that you do it at the right time. Now, this looks like a really tempting dish. I mean, I love avocados and I love how this looks. But if I don't know this, I mean, I'm like, okay, if I've just had breakfast, I can't eat this. If I've just had lunch, I can't eat this, no matter how tempting it is. And even if I'm willing to spend $20 on buying this, right? So if your audience, this again goes back to knowing your audience, knowing them really, really well. For example, if it is moms with young kids and the summer holidays just started and the kids are at home from school, and you're trying to sell them a transformational experience or a 5-day retreat, they're not going to buy. They're unlikely to buy because the kids are at home. They need to be chasing the kids. They won't have the mental bandwidth to take time aside for a meditative transformational experience, even though they need that calming experience right now with the kids jumping around the house and creating a ruckus. Okay? So you also have to time it right. All of make sense? Agree? Disagree? Okay. So it comes back to holding that 1 minute. Yeah. Louis says computer sales staff are the best for talking in their own language. Louis, I used to be a software engineer. I worked with software engineers for 15 years. And yes, we may be using English words, but they talk a completely different language. And when it comes to sales, tech sales, they keep using the same technical terms and describing the features rather than describing how people can actually use all of that great equipment. I think that is one place where Steve Jobs did an excellent job, the way he talked about the iPhone and the way he positioned the iPhone. Okay, coming back to this. You see this kid, he's a bit apprehensive, he's a bit scared, he's going to get on a zip line or something like that. That is how your clients are feeling right now. That is how your potential clients are feeling right now. Because they know they need a change, they know they need some transformation, they know that whatever they've been doing isn't quite working, and they're looking for solutions to help them get to their end goal. They are apprehensive. Can you hold that space for them? Can you build that trust? Can you get them to believe? Can you support them in the way that they need to be supported? And can you help them make an empowered decision about whether or not working with you is the right step for them? And can you care enough for them to guide them in the right direction? For example, many times when people approach me to either work on their website or for one-on-one coaching, and I feel that they're not quite yet ready for it, that their time and money would better be invested elsewhere, I tell them so. I tell them that, for example, in my early days, in my website days, I would turn away about 70% of the clients because they were still chalking out their business idea. And I would tell them that if you're still not clear about what your business is about, there's no point investing $5,000 in a business website. Okay. It's simple. Can you care about them enough to also tell them when it's not a right fit for them? And when it is a right fit for them, can you care for them enough to hold them through any kind of fear, any kind of, basically any kind of fear, any kind of objections, any reason that they might be unwilling to commit to that change? Can you hold that space for them? Okay. Now, all of this, I spoke about basic concepts, I spoke about energy, I spoke about a different approach to a sales conversation. But all of this also needs to be supported by solid business strategy. More often than not, when clients come to me for one-on-one sessions, they claim that they know their target market, they understand them. They claim that they have been building that relationship just because they have been sending out a weekly newsletter. They claim that they are asking for the sale. But when we dig deeper, when I ask them to record or share a sales conversation, or when I actually go in and look at the newsletters that they're sending out, and then I point out to them, how do you think this is affecting your relationship with your clients? Or how do you think someone is going to react to this particular ask? It completely changes the way they look at things. It helps them, it's difficult to see the picture when you're inside the frame. So even though they think that they're doing the right things, even though they think they're doing things in the right way, but they are not getting the results they want, that's when they come to me. Now, I know, now I'm going to, may I ask you, would you like to hear more about this new program that I'm starting to help support you through that transition, to go from that space of where you are not making enough in your business, where you feel you're doing all the right things in your marketing, in your sales, in your business, but yet you're not quite getting the results that you want. Can I share a bit about my new program with you? Please give me a yes or no in the chat box. Okay, Victoria says sure. So I'm going to keep this brief, okay? And because yes, I know you guys are waiting on for the meditation. So my next program is called the More Business Bootcamp. And like my website and content marketing bootcamps, it is a deep, high touch, high impact program. It's going to be limited to 20 women. It's all about helping you stop chase your tail, stop going around in circles in your business, and actually make the kind of impact, sign up the kind of clients you want, and of course, make more money in your business. It's all about helping you be more, do more, have more in your business. Okay. 20 women only. We start 3rd of September. You can get the program details here, the RichaJain.com/more. Let me also quickly paste that into the chat box for you. /more. Okay, so you can go check out the details of the program here. It's a hybrid between a course and a group coaching program and a mastermind. Every single week we have a topic of the week, right? Starting from alignment to how to create your content, to how to stack your offers, to how to have these sales conversations, to how to be more visible and sign up higher end clients. All of that over 12 weeks. Every week, we start every week with a few short video lessons. You have the week to do the assignments, to go out and do the actual work. End of the week, every single week, we have a group coaching call where we get on a Zoom call like this. I ask you to share your assignments. I review them. I give you feedback. And you get to ask me any kind of questions you have around that topic. Every 4th week will be an implementation week, because I know as women, we juggle a lot of things in life and things can get tight. And especially with, in November or so, you have, once the festivals start, once the festive season hits in, it becomes all the more difficult to work. So every 4th week is going to be an implementation week where 2 hours we get on a Zoom call and I help you thrash out all of the content, all of the work that you needed to do, that you need to catch up on. Okay. So it's an intense, high touch, high impact program made for those of you who are done spinning your wheels and who are ready to move full speed ahead in your business. You're done from trying things out on the side and hustling on the side and struggling by yourself, and you're ready to get real results in your business. You're ready to create a stable, consistent income in your business. Let me see if you would like more information about this, if you would like to explore whether this is right for you, then please just wait a minute. I thought I'd put a link to my calendar here. I will share the link with you in a minute. If you would like to know more about this program, then please just go ahead and schedule a call with me. Let me get the link to the call. 1 minute. Yes. Damn, why can't I find it now? I thought I had a slide with that on it. Okay, I'm sharing it in the chat room now. And it seems instead of saying, yeah, okay. So in the chat room, I've shared a link to my calendar. If you would like to learn more about this program, just go ahead and book a call with me. The idea is, this is the first time I'm running this kind of bootcamp. It's the next level or the next step from my website and content bootcamp. And The purpose behind it is to help you stop chasing shiny objects and hopefully stop signing up for every freebie and webinar and podcast, etc., and instead just get things done. There's a certain kind of clarity, a certain kind of learning that comes from doing, and that's what I want to support you through in this program. Okay? So no more confusion, no more struggle, no more being on Facebook all day hoping that someone buys your services. No more spinning the wheels. Instead, the idea is to help you create more impact, sign up more of your ideal soul clients, and of course, make more money in your business. And in that process, streamline the way that you work, the way that you show up in your business, so that you have more time, more freedom, more control. No more hustle, instead, ease and grace and flow in your business. That is the idea. That is why I have structured the program the way I have. At the end of this program, I cannot promise you that you will be making six figures in your business. I don't make promises that I can't keep. But what you will walk away with is clarity and alignment. Clarity around and alignment around who you are, how you want to show up in your business, and how does that align to your target market. I will help you create smart stacked offers so that every other week you don't keep experimenting with different kinds of offers and throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Okay? Internet marketing can be really, really challenging. You will find conflicting information of every kind on the internet. There are people who will tell you you need to write 100 blog posts or do 1,000 podcasts or build your email list a certain way, etc., etc. My way of working is to simplify things to the basics, to make sure you only do as much work as required and no more and no less. Okay, so yes, so internet marketing simplified, a 6-month marketing plan to how to get people to sign up for your freebies, how to go from there to your discovery calls or your low tier offers, how to go from there to your higher end offers. I think in week 7 or 8, go check out on the page. I've mapped out what we will be doing every single week. In week 7 or 8, we actually practice discovery calls and going from discovery calls to paid offers. In week 5 or 6, when we work on the funnels and freebies, then I talk about how do you create your opt-in, how do you leverage your marketing content to actually get people onto discovery calls. Okay, discovery calls or paid first paid deep dive intensives, which is your first call. So in the stacked offers, we will map out the different kinds of offers you'll have so that you don't try to sell 20 things all at once. In the freebies and funnels, I will walk you through how to go from opt-in to your lowest tier offer to your higher tier offers. We will have more conversation about soulful selling and rather actual practical actual practice sessions where I will get you to practice your sales pitches or your conversations on other people in the group. We also talk about, I think this is week 9 and 10, stepping up your visibility. Because if you're continuously selling to the same people and they aren't quite ready for your services, it's not going to help. You need to keep expanding your reach. You need to keep growing your tribe. So how do you get more guest blogging session? How do you get onto podcasts as an interview? How do you get onto higher end magazines and internet journals to step up your visibility and get more people onto your freebies and funnels and discovery calls? All of that, we wrap it up with week 11 and 12 about systems for growth. Because by now we have done a lot of work. We have created a lot of marketing content plans, etc. It's time to stand up and implement it. And if everything is all over the place, you're going to be, entangled in a web. So how do you systemize everything so that you spend less time doing admin work and more time one-on-one with clients? Okay. So this program is all about helping you set up and improve. It's all about helping you grow your one-on-one business, helping you get more clients, create more impacts, and make money without burning yourself out, without working 24/7. Here's the link to my calendar. So if this sounds like something that you need, if this sounds like something that you're interested in, let's talk. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Just go ahead and book a call here. The early bird, I'm pricing it really, really low for this first round because it is the first round I'm running this. It's a step up from my website and content marketing bootcamps. So I'm pricing it really, really low. Early bird pricing is open only till 24th of August. That's next week. If you are even remotely interested in this, I would suggest you book in a call with me in the next few days so that I can help answer any questions that you may have and make sure that what you need is covered in the program. Okay. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the More Bootcamp? Any quick questions? Okay. Victoria says, once I get on a client discovery call, I'm good. I struggle to get the bookings for the discovery call. Do you help with that? Yes. I'm forgetting exactly which week, but week 5 or 6, when we are creating those funnels, when we are creating your marketing content, in that we will talk about how to go from a blog post, from a Facebook post to a discovery call, how to book discovery calls through your content. Okay. Okay, one more question for you ladies. Next week, what do you want to learn most about? What kind of webinar do you want? I'm oscillating between two things: about structuring your first funnel, about creating your first funnel, or leveraging content marketing to get fully booked. That means leveraging exactly what Victoria asked, leveraging your freebies to get more discovery calls, and from discovery calls to get paying clients. What do you guys want more? Share in the chat box and we'll set it up for next week. Okay, I know I'm over time, but I still want to go ahead with this meditation. Are you guys with me for this? Okay, Louise, LaCharla, and I think Victoria too wants leveraging freebies. Okay, you got it. That's going to be same time next Thursday or next Wednesday. I will again set it up in our Facebook group and send out emails for that. Let's do it. Okay, who's ready for the meditation now? Please give me a yes. Say someone, please. Okay. Okay, Lachala says it's 1 a.m. Please go ahead, Lachala, and you can catch it on the replay. I will send out a replay soon. Or just stay with us for 5 minutes. It's going to be a short meditation, but I think you will enjoy it. Okay, everyone. Can you kind of relax in your chair, relax wherever you're sitting, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in. If you're sitting on a chair, or if you can sit upright with your feet firmly planted on the ground, that would be awesome. Sit upright, preferably with your back erect, your feet planted firmly in the ground. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. In and out. In and out. And as you breathe in, be aware of where the breath enters your body and where it exhales. And when you exhale, be aware of how it leaves your body. Just stay with your breath for a minute. Pay attention to it as it goes in through your nostrils, through the windpipe, into your lungs. Visualize your breath going beyond. Next time you breathe in, visualize it going beyond your lungs, down through your stomach, to your legs, your knees, your ankles, your toes. On the next breath, imagine it filling your entire body. See it flow through your hands, your arms, your hands, your fingers, filling up every pore in your body. And as you breathe in, see this breath transforming, changing into a shimmering golden yellow light, filling you from head to toe with this beautiful, gorgeous golden light. And be with it for a minute. Let it seep into every single pore of your body, every toenail, every finger, every hair, every breath. Know that you are enough. Know that you are complete as you are. Know that there are people out there waiting for you. People who are eager to work with you. People with whom your soul has already made a contract to help them. All they have to do now is find you. All you have to do now is find them. And as this golden light flows through you, fills you up, imagine in front of you a globe, the earth. And slowly, some strands of this beautiful golden light start to emerge from your body and reach out to the earth and connect to different people at different places all over the earth. You see this beautiful, glorious strand, one after the other, reach out and connect with different people on the earth. And you know it is your soul reaching out to them to tell them that you're here, to tell them that you're ready to help, and to ask them if they are ready to be helped. And those that are ready, those who are eager, and those who are willing, send you back some love, some golden shimmering yellow light, connecting the both of you. And as you sit there, connected with the people that you are meant to serve, repeat after me in your mind this small intention or prayer, whatever you want to call it. I am committed to selling with love on a daily basis. I truly believe that what I have to offer will transform the lives of so many people across the world. I commit to selling with love because the more I do so, the happier I am. And the happier I am, the deeper impact I have with my offerings, the deeper impact I can create for the people that I work with. I commit to selling with love because money is one source of love, and I am willing and open to receiving it and letting it flow through me. And so it is, and so it shall be. Now just sit with this thought, with this feeling for a minute. Feel it truly and deeply. Imbibe it into every cell of your body. Feel it so strongly, anchor it so that you can come back to this feeling anytime you want, anytime you need. And then when you are ready, Gently open your eyes and come back to the here and now. And when you are ready and when you've opened your eyes, I'd love if you can share how you're feeling in the chat box. Okay, so is everyone back with us here and now? Can you share how you're feeling now? So, with anchor in this feeling that you're feeling right now and hold on to it. Come back to it whenever you feel yourself wobbling or shaky about your business, about your sales. And if you have any questions about what we discussed in this webinar, feel free to post them, share them in our Facebook group, Passion, Purpose, Profit Facebook group. Okay, I will get back to you later during the day and answer any questions. And now, without much ado, I'm going to leave you with this feeling. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for this webinar. If you have any questions about the More Bootcamp, feel free to message me, and feel free to please go ahead and book a call with me. One request, if you know other women who would benefit from the More Bootcamp, please help me spread the word. Please send them the link. Please put us in touch. Ask them to book a discovery call with me. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone. You have a good day or a good night, depending on where you are located. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Bye.